Punters and dribblers, welcome back to the #1 sports betting show of all time, About Even. It's a pleasure to be here on this lovely day. We thank our dear friends Neds for their support. Neds are, without question, the greatest of all the bookies. They look the best. They act the best. Their odds are the best, in my opinion. And their service as a whole is exquisite. Now, I'd like to bring in my dear friends Sebastian and also $1,000 richer, the great rugby league guru. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Boys, I was going to say I've got a lot of Stephen Bradbury about me this year. Can't fucking bet for shit, but I'm just falling ass first into everything at the moment. Thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, you are not very good at punting. I think that after, 9 rounds of rugby league football, we can all agree that Guru not that good. And yet he remains on top, and he's got the first of 3 hot seats by doing absolutely fuck all. He gets in the hot seat once, he throws it away with a Morgan Smithies, and then just through the act of doing absolutely nothing, you get $1,000.
I would argue, though, that yes, and there's raw numbers to show I'm potentially the shittest punter alive, but you guys aren't that much better. So taking Morgan Smithies, I think it's a stroke of genius. I really do. It literally played out the exact way I said it would, and I only had to sit in the hot seat once across 11 weeks. Is insanity.
Yeah, I mean, it does hurt when, both Eddie and I were there at the end and we kind of fumble and you think about, should you take that bet? But it's like, you got it without just getting a single bet. Like, you threw away your Morgan Smithies, but it's like you never were put under the blowtorch of going like, how do you go on $1,000 bet and it's on you? You got in there with the default.
Yep.
Respect it, but it doesn't, until someone gets one where they have to make $1,000 punt and they hit, that's impressive.
Yeah. Speaking of the blowtorch, though, I do cast my mind back to when you had the choice of where do you want to pick, and you chose second over fourth, which in hindsight and at the time,
it wasn't too bad. Like I just had to get another bet and I was in there. If I got one of my bets, I left it up to the coin gods. If I got one of those bets, then I'm in the seat Eddie was in. So it wasn't the worst positioning. I think the worst positioning at the end, how it played out, was probably Tom because he was out first.
It was definitely Tom. Listen, I'm a man of theatre. I'm a thespian, and drama is the currency in which I trade. And I saw that 4 p.m. slot Sunday afternoon, and that's the drama slot. We all know it. When it comes to punting, it's the drama slot. It's the end of the weekend. Everyone's at home or they're at the pub, and everyone's dialed in on the fixture. So that's where I lent. That's where I looked, rather, for drama, and I found it in the form of Sharks minus 13.5. We wake up in the morning, the ground's flooded. The club had to get in water pumps to drain the fucking thing. If that's not drama, I don't know what is. Now, where it gets really interesting is the Sharks are up by 8 points. Now, just for those watching, 2 points is a conversion, 2 points for a penalty, 4 points for a try. So they're up by 8 points, attacking the line, and they get a penalty. Now, you would think in rugby league, 99,000 times out of a fucking 100,000, you go for the fucking try. What do? Let's take the points and make it 10 instead of 8. I'm like, for what fucking reason? Sharks, do you not know that there's a live hot seat in play and you've got the run of the play right now? They take that penalty the right way, scrum or tap or kick for touch, and it's 14 points, not 10, and I'm sitting here at $1,000 richer. That's my opinion.
By that point, the Sharks were not playing the Dragons; they were playing the clock, and you. And I backed the call heavily. Great stuff.
Of course you backed the call, mate, but it didn't make any fucking sense.
I mean, with 2-3 minutes left on the clock, I didn't mind it. I'll tell you what, though, boys.
Oh, you didn't mind it?
Yeah, shocked me.
Okay, sure.
Now, when I won my unit scooper the other day, a few weeks ago. That was my wedding anniversary.
Yep.
That morning we went down and got breakfast at the local cafe. I kept track of my entire routine that day, and it came down to Dragons at 4 p.m. So, funnily enough, the other day was my wife's birthday. So another big day on the calendar. I made us go to the same place for breakfast, follow the same routine, ordered the same deluxe bacon and egg roll for breakfast, added halloumi. And as the
Shout
guy,
out to halloumi, by the
shout
way.
out to halloumi. But as the guy approached the table, I noticed that he had the roll and then the halloumi. And before he put it on, I said, "No, you need to take that back and put it on. I can't fuck with this today. I'll do it for you if you want, but do not put that roll on the table with the halloumi next to it, or you'll fuck my entire day." Which may seem over the top, but it was worth $1,000 in the end. Had I not done that, butterfly effect, God knows what would have happened. Nico Hines maybe taps and goes and scores.
I think he does. He taps and goes. If that halloumi, if that plate of halloumi had have touched the table, even just for a moment, then Nico Hines taps and goes and scores a try, and it's 14 points, and it's not 10, and I sit here $1,000 richer, and Guru basically at this point not going to be wearing a baggy green because he'd have to win the next two, and he's up against it. It's a mountain probably too high even for the great Gurino. It's disappointing. It's annoying. You have been paid, sir, so the show goes on.
How much did you have to cut in, Beck, to go through that routine? Did you say we'll throw this to a holiday or?
Yeah, look, she wasn't impressed. I'm not going to lie. I've also ruined a relationship with a barista. It's not great. So you can't win them all though, but I win about 4 of them a year at this rate, and they're a good 4 to win.
It's fucking annoying. Anyway, well played. We will be doing a little spin later for the hot seat to see the new order. Tom not here, so you can basically deduce that Tom will be taking the spot the other 3 don't want. And if he has to get a bet in, then so be it. If he doesn't put a bet in like last week, he will be taxed. So he will be out of the hot seat, essentially. Last week, there was a couple of bets he didn't make. I made the executive decision, gentlemen, to tax him 1 unit per bet.
I was thinking that's fair.
Which I think's more than fair and more than reasonable. We will get into accountability right now. Panthers, 42, defeated the Rabbitohs, 12. I had Panthers 13+, Taruva 2+. That's what Tom had as well, except he had just had the Panthers to win. Sebo, Cleary, Whiten, Bunnies plus 15.5. Guru, Tungo, Whiten, Panthers 13+. So no Whiten for Guru. No Taruva 2+ for me. Disappointing. Sebo, the Bunnies. Worst team in the comp.
Yeah. At this point, getting a bit over it at this point. You're not going to hide behind injury. They've been playing like crap even when anyone isn't injured. But are they like completely out of a team now? Like there's like 6 guys left. The defense is the worst in the comp, I think. It is amazing because like you think in your head, you're like, how can Penrith ever fail? I'm not saying the Bunnies are Penrith, but like the Bunnies were premiership favourites. Like not favourites, but up there. And it is just completely blown up. My form has been sucked down with it. You know, when the Titanic sinks, I freaked out as a kid when I hear that if a boat sank, even if you're not on the boat, but how physics works, it sucks you under with it. Like the sinking, you have to like be...
Like on Titanic.
Yeah, you have to be like really far away from the boat to like not get sucked under. The Rabbitohs is Titanic, and there's a few punters like me who are too close to it, and we've been sucked under. That's how I used to make my units, and they're just gone now.
I think the greatest example of how much trouble South Sydney are in, Braden Burns was released to go to the Cowboys this week. And Braden Burns was playing reserve grade, not in their top 30. Braden Burns is also like one of the faces of their South Care program. So he's like goes into schools every week. And I've got a few teachers that I'm still friends with who mentioned to me, we've lost Braden Burns. You had to cut a teacher's aide from your squad to try and get your salary cap sorted. It's unbelievable. And Shibasaki has come from reserve grade to starting wing for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. It's like
a teacher's aide had to get cut.
Yes.
To relieve salary cap pressure.
Because you've had to bring so many guys up that in their contracts, if they played first grade or whatever, they got a little bit more in there. It threw your salary cap out. So yeah, you had to sit down and have a tough conversation with a teacher's aide this week.
Why can't we play Braden? Like,
I assume because of your salary cap, you had to bring down Shibasaki.
Right. All right, so like he took up more, so they have to get rid of him.
Think so,
and then
yeah.
they can bring in people who are on less. Right.
Geez, pretty grim when you're getting rid of teachers' aides. But that's the Bunnies for you. Absolutely no ticker. And also that try where Dylan Edwards just looks up, tap, run, was it May? screaming up on the inside or the outside rather, scores a try. There was just no one running.
Or when
no one cared.
Edwards got out
maybe
of his
Jairo.
in goal.
Jairo was the only
When
one.
Edwards got out of his in goal, there's like 2 bunnies on him in his in goal, and he manages to get it to the 30, and you're like, yeah, look, it's just, I know, like, the only way I can relate to it is like if you're playing a game of golf and you've just shit the bed around the turn, and there's just nothing that can mentally bring you back.
I tell you
Like,
what you
you're just
need.
done.
I tell you what you need. You need someone who is a Clive Churchill medalist, like fucking loves the club more than anything, to just go in there and instill what it means to play for the Bunnies. You know what I mean? Like someone, maybe like a back rower or someone like that. Someone who's like maybe won a premiership. Someone that maybe, I don't know, fucking broke his eye socket the first step of a game and like, you know, and went on to do great things. Someone like that. I reckon if you had someone like that maybe around the club just to fucking, you know, get a bit of belief back, that'd be great. Unfortunately, don't know if you do. Raiders 26 defeated the Seagulls 24. Classic Seagulls performance, this. I knew early in the second half the way that this was going to go. It's just, you can tell. There is a script. There is a script that it plays out sometimes when it comes to the Seagulls, and it's all too fucking predictable. It just is. If you follow the Seagulls like I do, you know exactly what I'm fucking talking about. You know exactly what I'm fucking
It's almost
about.
proof we're in some whatever those, what are they called? Like, not alternative.
simulation.
Simulation, yeah.
We're in a
It's like
simulation.
The Eagles only
Yeah.
have a certain few ways, you know, to play a game.
Yeah, exactly right. We are in a simulation. We all know that. The math just checks out. Tom had Ethan Bullymore. He doesn't score. I had Manly 1-12 Turbo under 43.5. Under 43.5 hurts Guru, who double stakes Turbo into under 43.5.
I'll tell you what, with 30 minutes to go and the Canberra Raiders scoring a try off an intercept into a flick pass in the pissing rain, I just thought, unders is going to shit in here. I am fucking home. And then the Raiders, 4 tries in about 15 fucking minutes with the arsiest shit I have ever seen. And they do it all the time. They're punishing.
Unders killed me as well. I'd been looking, I had a big game of golf last Friday, and I'd been looking at the weather all fucking like across multiple apps, and I thought at that time it was going to start pissing down, but need to consult Tim Bailey or someone who's got a bit more of a concrete opinion, because unders, I always say I don't like going unders, and then when it rains you go unders, or when the fucking field's 5 metres short you go under, it never hits.
Mate,
unless it's actually fucking bucketing down then and there, it doesn't hit.
Even still, I mean, like I sent into the group last week. The Roosters and the Bulldogs put on 60 points in the wettest conditions I've fucking seen in my life. Means nothing.
Yep.
You can't get if you try to get a read on this competition, you've got fucking bucklies, mate. As evidenced by our punting. Roosters 40 to defeat the Broncos 18. Tom of Birmingham fame triples the Broncos -7.5. We love that. I had Walsh and Manu. Manu scores relatively early. I think I'm home and hosed. Walsh doesn't score. Lets a lot of us down. Natty Butcher doesn't score. Jesse Arthurs doesn't score. Payne Haas doesn't score. Just red. Sebo, none of your 70-1 bets are getting up yet.
I'm getting the lines though, and yeah, look, I was.
But you're just like 6 or 7 try scorers short in each game, and that's
just 2 in that game, and before I was just an unders away, so I got more legs. Than
so you're just a pain. You're just a pain.
More
Haas.
legs than anyone else.
Just a pain Haas and a while short. I get it. You're in conservation mode. It makes sense. Bulldogs 22 defeated the Tigers 14. Tom, not any. No bet submitted. He gets his odds are $5, so he loses a unit for that. Other Dogs -7.5 into Critter into Burton. I feel like there was someone just sucking the absolute life out of Matt Burton's penis last week. Was that the bloke over there who's had a wash and a blow dry?
That was me. And the blow dry was worth it, that's for sure.
You look fabulous today.
Thank you very much. I forgot my hat, so this is what it looks like when I straight condition.
Have you? It looks like you've put a rinse through that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've done the full thing.
It's looking dark.
Thank you. I'm glad. I'll send the thanks to the hairdresser for that one.
Okay, beautiful. Sorry, Matt, I just read something, and so that would have seemed like I was distracted because I was. I was. And it's nothing to do with your fabulous hair and your fabulous vibe. Good. It's more to do with the fact that I thought I had an interview at 11:30. It's now been pushed back till next week, which is great.
We love that. We love that.
It worked out well for us because Guru was late again. So,
which you can blame on Tim Williams, by the way.
Yeah. Listen, the buck stops with you, big fella, okay? Yeah. You're the one paid to be here, so you just got to put your hand up and take a bit of responsibility. Now, the Bulldogs game, as I just said, we were Critter and Burton, me, Guru. I blamed that on Rando. Lippy had Buller and kick out. Like, it just wasn't really happening. The line was there to be punished. Unfortunately, that's sort of where it ended. Storm 22 defeat the Titans 20. This is where my Azaki 8. So because I also had the Azaki 8, I dreamt that Sunday would come down to an Azaki and $1,000 hot seat. That's what I actually was manifesting. Now, manifesting has sort of become a big part of a lot of people's lives recently.
Yep.
I'm still trying to work out how that actually works. Are you just going, give me what I want, and that's sort of how it works? I'm not really sure. But I was manifesting the Azaki 8 to be alive, and then the Titans basically should have arguably have beaten the Storm, but it was 22-20, so that it just fell in a fucking big heap because the line was 15.5 points.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you manifest it. Maybe like a bit of lucid dreaming. I had that a bit on the weekend. I dropped the twins up in Brisbane, and I came back early Monday morning. Went to sleep Monday night, and I woke up at early Tuesday morning, and I was kind of lucid dreaming a bit, and I was like being melded into being like an American as well, because I felt this sense of freedom, like I didn't have to get up. And my dream, all of a sudden, I'm starting picking up like bazookas and guns and just blasting targets, because I'm just like free. I'm like, freedom's like override. And then I was kind of like half aware as I was waking up. I'm like, that dream's more fun. Go back into that. And then I was just doing it. I'm like, maybe that's how you do it. Lucid dreaming, manifesting. I don't know, because manifesting's a part of everyone's life now, thanks to Tim Nucky, I don't know, but it's possible. He manifested what, $1,400 to $1 million?
1,500 to $1 million, I think. Yeah.
You can manifest an Azaki. I don't know how you do it. Lucid dreaming might be part of it, but I'm going to have to manifest something in the next few weeks.
Okay, maybe go back to bed, buddy. A few of us had Munster, who gets up and salutes for the boys. Nick Meaney has gone quiet, gone off the boil from a try-scoring perspective. I won't be following him anymore. And then obviously, because Katoa's been scoring tries, you get on Katoa and he doesn't score. That's sort of how it works. Shawnee Blore as well.
Yeah, I'm not having much luck with old Sean Blore.
No.
Not getting anywhere near him, to be completely honest with
You
you.
just like him.
I don't know if I've got a back rower correct yet. Obviously, Kai Pearce-Paul, I haven't got within the right fucking postcode.
You get too attached to back rowers, especially CBA.
Are they your
Achilles heel?
My Achilles heel, yes, without a doubt. I'll get one soon. You'll hear about it when I do. Don't worry about
that. So if you haven't noticed yet, punters and dribblers, still no bets. No bets. Bit of a theme this week. Dolphins 28 defeat the Cowboys 26. Matty Johns reckons, Rando, that the Cowboys just don't really give a fuck in defence.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
well, it's
just too reliant on their superstars and their ability to score points.
It's all-star mentality. That's what we're going for. Just keep the gate open in defence and try and score as many tries as them. It worked for the Titans, I'm sure it did. But here we are.
It's starting to get like quite far in the rear vision mirror. 2 seasons ago.
We're only
last year
winning.
you went behind the you tried to hide behind the excuse of just pre-season didn't go our way. Pre-season was really disrupted with the World Cup. Yeah, well, a couple other teams were disrupted as well. But yeah, sure, Toddy, sure. What now though?
Now it's just purely defence. I mean, when we went to the 8 in 2022, it was all defence-based. We're one of the best defensive teams, and now that's just, I don't know what's happened. The training's completely changed. I know going into that 2022 pre-season that Toddy would just, out of nowhere, just make people go tackle players instead of having an attack or having a rest day. He just changed it up, and obviously that's gone to shit, and it's just all attack focus now. So... I'm very scared for this game against the Titans. Very, very scared.
You know, at the same point in 2022, you'd conceded 150 less points. the night now.
it's crazy.
It's wild.
It's wild.
Maybe too much golf from all the players.
Absolutely. Way too much time on the course.
Yeah.
Way too much
it's a
time on the
great
course.
point. Great point.
Who's the best golfer out of all them from what you've seen?
I
Who's the
think it's
It's Chad, isn't it?
Chad or Val. I think maybe it's Chad. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Chad.
Drinky he's not that good.
Oh, really?
Well,
I thought
he's
isn't he
my
14?
level. He's like, you'd expect someone who moves like Drinky, like ultra, like
Yeah.
professional, like athlete specimen to kind of be able to be better than someone like me.
I feel like when Drinky has a good day, though, he'd have a fucking
Yeah,
outstanding day.
I mean, admittedly, the boys, they post a lot of the pars and birdies. You don't see too much of the bad stuff. But you can't hide in your handicap. You can't hide your handicap. Yeah.
It's a great point. Now, Guru had Azarko, Val, Fuller, Drinky, 1 from 4. Tough day out. Lippy had the felt Hattie. That goes down. Sebo had Asako 2, which hits, but Val 2 doesn't. I had Bostock, however you pronounce it, Drinky, Avarillo gets up. It's just a lot of red. Really, it is. I mean, there's no point sugarcoating what happened last week, punters and dribblers. Red everywhere. I'll give you an idea of how much red. Knights 14 defeated the Warriors 8. There's 1 green leg for everyone. Sharks 20 defeat the Dragons 10. 1 green leg for everyone. Out of there's probably 15 legs there. There's 1 green on both games. So we're 2 out of 30 there. Legs-wise. Fucking pathetic. The Knights continue to surprise me.
Yep.
You sit there and you listen to your 360 and everyone goes, they're fucked. Put a line through them. Matty Johns, they're fucked. Put a line through them. And they just win games of footy.
But this is maybe like what the Knights are. It's like they can, like people who've, like Novocastrians, they can dig deep when they're really needed. They're never going to be the glitz and glamours at the top of the table. But for some reason, those guys need to be up against it to perform a little bit. Does that mean they're going to make the top 8? No. But, for some reason, they're better without Kalen somehow.
And, you talk about the Knights being the hard team to read, mate. The Warriors, that's 4 in a row they've lost.
Is it 3 or 4?
Oh, I thought it was
3,
4. Maybe it's 3. Still.
But the
It's
Dragons,
against
Titans,
the Dragons,
Knights.
the Titans, and the Knights.
Yeah.
And you think we're going bad. We're
What's
trotting
happened
along.
there?
Fuck knows. God knows. They look very predictable at the moment, the Warriors. I'll give you a little preview. I think they might upset the Roosters. I think we're going to bounce back this week. They're at about $4.50. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I've noticed, the middle of their games, you kind of lose. And it was good when they stopped throwing the footy around every 4 seconds like they have for the last 10 years. But, the middle of their games, it's just almost too boring. And you're like, guys, throw the footy around again.
And when they do move it, if Dallin doesn't score, it's like, okay, well, that's all we've got. That's it. They just refuse to go to the left. Montoya's getting a cold out there. They've got Rogers sitting at left centre and not utilising him. It's strange to watch.
I just don't want the up the wires movement to fail. I was just loving getting on board of that.
I'm going over there this week to Auckland, so I'll see what I can do over there. Work some magic.
You can report back for us, Roo.
Yeah.
Keep us in the loop, mate, of what's happening over there in Auckland. Now, that basically rounds out the games. I can't be fucked to go through the Sharks defeating the Dragons by 10 because there's just too much red. There's just too much red. I had Sharks minus 13.5 into Katoa. I double staked at 274. Nothing. And that's fine. I mean, I have to take my licks. I had 5 from 8 in the Azaki. Sebo had 1 from 6, I believe. Guru had none from 3. The Lippy had 1 from 6 in the unit scoopers. Pathetic. The hot seat we've been through. Sebo wins the week by being Mr. Conservative. Mm-hmm. Minus 2.95. Lippy was minus 4.84 in second. Roo third, minus 5.81. I was fourth, minus 8.76. Really starting to bleed now. And Tom with the triple that doesn't get up, minus 13.35. Overall, Roo remains in the lead. 3 of 85 bets. That's 3.52%. The worst of all of us. He's minus 21.33. Lippy second, minus 34. I'm third, minus 39. Tom minus 50 now. And Sebo minus 67. I don't think anyone on the panel has ever been into the 70s.
No. No.
If my memory serves.
It's never happened.
No.
No, I remember the first season I got to minus maybe half the units, and that was the worst punter of all time. Fair enough. Now we're all pretty much hovering around there.
Listen, it's been a really tough start to the rugby league season. I think it's been tougher than it ever has been. That's just my opinion. It's been fucked.
100% it has. Because I think I said it one of the first few weeks that your ATSs and your teams who are hot change, and you get caught up in the previous year, and then you just start punting. Like, look at DWZ, for example. You know what I mean? Even
he's still probably paying $1.50 for a Hattie.
And who's included in this week again? Me, still. I can know what's happening, but I don't have the strength to stop myself from doing it. You know what I mean? It's the hardest year. The lines have been all over the shop. You can't pick it.
Nope.
Overs, unders.
Oh, don't even bother with overs, unders. Don't waste your fucking time. You said last week you're not triple staking, double staking anymore. I still will. I've still got a few units to play with, but you won't see me overs or undering. There's just no fucking way. I haven't hit an overs and unders in 10 years, I don't reckon. the moment I get on that fucking stupid market, it's inevitable. I can see it as soon as the game starts. Manly and Raiders, it was 20-0 after like fucking 3 seconds. I go, oh, this is going to go well. Jesus Christ.
I'll tell you what, too, we're getting to that spot of the season where, you know, we're 8-9 weeks down. We feel like we're starting to get a feel for teams, and it's only like a 4-week window because then Origin hits and it's bye-round footy, and we're fucked all over.
Yep. Yeah.
It's like there's a little window here where maybe we're a sniff at getting something.
Yeah, you might be right.
I think we're going to all have to gear up for Origin, though, because you get good value. You get good value in Origin.
And I won't forget what you do in Origin either. I haven't forgotten. Unlike I forgot at the start of the year what you do. Like, I'm out there fucking triple staking teams to start the season when it's like, no, mate, do the opposite of what you think. Anyway, that's accountability. It's accountability. Game 1, Thursday night. Dolphins Seagulls, Suncorp Stadium. Good to see the Seagulls getting a Thursday night slot. They are a glamour side after all. 2.10 the Dolphs, $1.73 the Eagles. The line is plus 2.5. Gobble that up. And total points is 47.5. I'm going to throw now to the man with a fabulous rinse and a fabulous blow dryer, the great and the powerful Random Stats guy.
Thanks, Eddie. It's going to be a late shower in Brisbane, but it'll be dry during kickoff. As you mentioned, before you gobble up that line, Manly haven't covered the line away as the favourite in 6 of their last 7 games. They've also lost their last 3 games at Suncorp. For try scorers, though, I will jump on a Manly player here, and Ruben Garrick's name pops up again. He scored a double in each of his last 2 games. He scored a hat-trick last time out against the Finns, and the Finns have conceded the second most tries to right centres of any club in the competition. If you're looking for a bit more value, Jake Averillo is also on a try-scoring streak, scoring in his last 3 games. He'll shift to left centre with Herbie coming back at right, and that is where the Seagulls are leaking the majority of the points down that right edge.
Have we got that confirmed that Averillo's shifting?
Well, what we saw from when they were playing earlier in the year, Herbie was playing right centre.
Bloody well there, though.
He has.
Herbie's a better left centre too.
He has, and I'm not even going to try. I tried picking Gagai and Thompson last week, and
that's why I left Osako out this week until I know where Herbie's standing.
Listen, I will say this, though, for the pun and the dribbler, a lot of those games at Suncorp have been against the Broncos in Magic Round, and that's just been a bit of a tough place for us to play historically. So I don't draw too much comparison. Sebo, what are you doing, mate?
I'm going to go Turbo, just because you can just bank it to essentially double the odds of your other try scorer. That's what he's for.
He's just that good.
Yeah, he's just if you're going to have a roll of the dice, throw him in, boost up. And I'm trying to go again, guys, that no one's on, because otherwise odds just gets crunched in. And I'm going Kafusi. Now, I don't know the last time he scored. Can you bring it up from around? But
just based on the hairdo?
Basically, yeah, because the hairdo he's there is in the cycle. I've got like visions of him scoring maybe in Origins and stuff like that off like a little short ball, or at least he used to score a fair bit at some point. The Dolphin, and is he marking up? Is Olakawatu out? And hopefully that aligns up. I'm not sure.
He's right second row, so he won't be running at
June 11, 2022 was the last time Felice scored a try.
June 2022.
That was before the Dolphins existed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he hasn't scored a try for the Dolphins.
Well, he scored a try for Redcliffe in the Queensland Cup last year.
I'm on it. I'm liking this. I'm liking this because every time I bring up a try scorer and I get all these stats that he hasn't scored, he's never scored that, that's when I actually get that leg. So I'm taking that. That gets me to $15.10. Kafusi and Turbo.
Rue?
Boys, I'm going to go for Turbo as well, much of the same as Sebo, and then I'm going to throw in Herbie Farmworth on return. Not sure which side he's going to be playing, but regardless of which side it is, he ain't passing that football. So I'm going to take both of those to $4.90.
Good news for you, Sebo, as well. The right second row has scored 4 tries against Manly, the most of any forward.
That's just vibe. That's just vibe.
There you go. Now, you could argue that this sort of fixture would make Manly worried, but off the back of what happened last week, the whole dynamic changes. Usually we'll come off a nice, juicy win against the Panthers and go and lose to the fucking Dolphins. That's sort of how it works. But the nature of the loss last week, so horrific, so brutal, so catastrophic that change can only be the way up. Like, we must win. It can be the only way. Now, 2.5 points I will take every day of the week. Manly minus 2.5. Turbo and Burbo. Burbo's back. I'm just going to go with what I know to be true about the world, and that's Turbo's probably the best footballer on the fucking planet, and that his brother Burbo is got the same blood running through his veins. So that's all you need to know. He's back. He's ready. $10.51. And the Lippy, Sebo, who do we have?
His name is, I believe it's Benny Reid.
I don't even know his name.
Yeah, well, it is Benny Reid because when I check the DMs for About Even, I always think it's like Brent Reid is like an About Even follower or something.
Sure.
And he's just been like this guy. I had a bit of a fun night last night because I was the boys in Brisbane. I'm driving around to Mickey Avalon of all fucking artists, going to pubs by myself, all that sort of stuff, going to golf simulators. I was like, fuck, I've just got to go look for.
So did you go to the sim after you played?
Yeah, I had a lesson. Yeah, yesterday. I went to Shorty's, then came home, dropped off Wallace for a haircut, did some work, went to go get a golf lesson, went to the sim, drove around blaring music, stopped in at the pub, had a lamb shoulder at Glengarry Hotel, my old stomping ground in Redfern, bit more gentrified these days, had a bit of a slap, blaring music, come home, I was like, I'm free. So then I check the DMs, Benny Reid again, I was like, is that Brent Reid again? And then he's already sent through his fucking tips. He's already sent through everything. And I was like, boom, you know what? This is Sebo's night off, and I'm just going to take the guy that's already sent through all his bets, and he's been doing that for weeks.
So Brent Reid's boy, Brett Reid.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Brent had a son named Brett, but there you go. He's got Nichols. Don't hate that. Into Turbo, $17.59. I don't hate that. I just don't.
Nichols is always a good bet.
Yeah, he is. And he's just a fucking nut trucker. Game 2, Friday, 6 p.m. Panthers take on the Dogs at Panthers Stadium. Head-to-head, $1.15 Panthers, $5.60 the Dogs. Lions, 15.5. Gobble, gobble, if you don't mind. Total points, 39.5. So the total points is 39.5. The Lions, 15.5. Fucking hell, come on. Now, what do you reckon, Rando?
It's going to be wet in Penrith, wet in Sydney for this round. 10 to 20 millimetres expected on the Friday. The Dogs, they've only played 3 top 8 teams from last year, losing 2 and winning 1, which was against the 12-man Roosters, of course. The Panthers, they've dominated this fixture, winning their last 6 games by at least 12 points, and they haven't lost to the Dogs at home since 2016. So I do like the Panthers to gobble up that line as well. For try scorers, though, the best value here is the Fox. The Bulldogs, they've scored 34% of their tries on their left edge. The Panthers are conceding a whopping 48% of their tries down their right edge exclusively, with the left winger scoring in the last 3 games. The Fox is $2.85 for this one. And he scored a double last time against Penrith for the Bulldogs.
All right, you've got me in an absolute pretzel, mate.
Yeah, that was good, Randa.
I'm pretzeled up big time. Rue, what are you going to do? Well, I just assess my position.
I'm going to take Stephen Crichton across this one. I think he's at about $4.50 against his former club. Big narrative guy. I can see Critter crossing. Taruva scores every week. I'll take him again. And then I don't know what you're about to do, Eduardo, but I think that 15.5 is just a little bit too much in the wet. I think that the Bulldogs, they played well the last few weeks. They'll be looking for an opportunity to prove themselves. I don't know if they win this game, but I think they get close. So I'll take that 15.5. Critter, Taruva, Dogs plus 15.5, $13.55.
Yeah, listen, when you're down 39 units and you've got the most bets, you need to start backing yourself at moments, and I saw the line of 15.5 points. I know it's going to be wet. The Dogs will be looking to prove themselves, as Guru says. There's a lot of ex-players there that they're going to be wanting to make a fucking statement. And I just think 15.5 is a big number. So I will take it and I will triple it. I am shit scared, but I need to start believing and I need to start moving the narrative. Otherwise, what's going to happen? I'm going to be sitting where Sebo's sitting, minus 70 units, putting 300 to 1 on every fucking game, just trying to survive, trying to hang around. I want to be the master of my own destiny, and so I need to start moving into the green, which involves triples if and when they come up. And I like it, and I'm taking it, and fuck you, Rando.
So you're tripling the line, eh?
Yep.
Wow. I thought this was probably the most scary line out of them all.
No, I like it.
Because we just haven't got a read on the Dogs. We haven't got a read on... Yeah, they're playing better footy. We haven't got a read on them, how they go.
Do we have a read on anyone, Seth? Who the fuck do we have a read on?
The Dogs used to be...
No, who do we have a read on?
The Dog with Penrith
Who
was
have we
like
got
32.
a great read on? Yeah, like the Panthers are a good side. They don't fuck everyone up.
I don't know. I'm scared of it. Like, I respect your commitment, but I would be scared of it. But that's fine. I like that you're doing it.
Thanks.
Rando put some good stats up there about Fox, and I was like, maybe I'll take him for a double. But, like, I'm so far, like, in the red that I can't be out there hunting foxes or, like, little gazelles. I need to get a big fucking bear, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have time. I don't have the ammo to take down a little thing that can move around quickly. I just need to set my sights on something big, thick, and heavy, and that's Billy Kicks. 2+, $51 against his old club. They love that left side. We know he has the ability to get one. It's just maybe a bit of luck in the rain.
He hasn't
or
scored
something.
that many. How many did he score this year? One?
I don't know, but he's looked
one.
close.
Hasn't scored in his last 5.
Hasn't scored in his last. Perfect.
You don't win Big Buck Hunter by shooting the critters. Though.
I can't believe you said...
I need the big fucking things. I've told you, everyone knows my tactics. I'm going big bets against the grain bets and then trying to get some unit scoopers in so then I can start layering it back a bit and then go, a bit more bullish on some shorter legs. But I'm just trying to stay alive. I've got like 2 bullets and no clothes, and I'm in the middle of a rainforest in the middle of winter, and I was like, I need to shoot a bear and just go sleep inside of it or something. You know what I mean? Like I can't be chasing foxes. With 2 bullets.
You need to go all Leonardo in the Revenant.
Yeah, exactly.
Get into that bear, dude.
Basically,
Get into that bear.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the cold's going to kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to shoot a bear.
Exactly.
Just to live in the fucking thing.
At this point, I am Leo just post bear attack in the Revenant. Before he's killed the bear. But like, as he's getting fucking mauled. That's where I'm at.
Right.
So yeah, Billy Kicks, 2+.
Now, Lippy, Brent Reed's son. Cleary, Panthers minus 15.5, 490. Boring bet, shit bet, won't get up. We move on. Friday night, Eels Broncos, Combank Stadium. $3.20 the Eels, $1.35 the Bronx. The bookies not at all worried that Reynolds is out, and I'd agree with them. Line is +9.5. Total points is 45.5. Talk to me, Rando.
The Broncos without Adam Reynolds, they've won 2, lost 2, and that second loss was to the Panthers when Reece Walsh went down in the first couple of minutes. With Guffo out for the Eels, though, he's only missed 2 games since 2019, and both times the Eels got 40 put on them. So it does look like the Broncos could cover that line in the wet. Whilst the stats don't like the Eels for a result, they do like Mike Acevo here, who has scored in his last 4 games against the Broncos, and as well has scored in his last 3 games for the Eels.
Okay. Obviously, it's a loss that Reynolds is out, but Ezra Mam he's one hell of a fucking football, and I think he stands the fuck up and delivers in his absence. I like the Broncos 13+. Obviously, I spied that Gutherino was out, and huge loss to the Eels. I think the Eels, without him and Moses, absolutely stink. You could argue they stink anyway. Broncos 13+, Mam, and Sean Russell comes in.
Left centre.
Katoni running at him. And I think that's just bad news. They've replaced Morgan Harper of Can't Tackle fame with Sean Russell of Is He Much Better fame. Now, I think Katoni just eyes up a Sean Russell and goes, out of my way, brah. I expect bras to the face out of Katoni, Sean Russell. 9.20 if you put them all together.
I've gone for Reece Walsh. You're getting $2.15 again for him. I will take that. And boys, I always like when you get new halves coming in. Josh Rogers comes in for the Broncos. Got a really good running game and doing well in Q Cup. I like him. I like with new halves, they come in, they tend to run a lot more, a little bit less structure. They're not used to the side. So I like the Ezra Mann bet, but I'm going to take Rogers at about $4, and I'm just going to double that value by chucking a Reece Walsh in there, $8.65. Keep an eye on Rogers. He can play.
Not bad betting. Not bad betting, Sebo.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Ezra and Walsh, like, they really step up. They kind of tried to do it last week, but kind of failed a little bit. But I think, like, one of them's guaranteed to score. Trying to go against the grain as per usual here, so I'll take Ezra. And then Piakura. I feel he hasn't really reached the levels. Like, he's been a bit injured and things like that, but he looks good when he runs the ball. And he's on Ezra's side, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, so I feel there could be a little combo there on that left edge. Just those two for 10-20. Wanted to throw in Walsh, but I just held back. I thought, I've got a vibe about Piakura, I really do, and I'm just going to run with that.
Geez, I hope all these try scorers break their streaks this week.
Yep, that's why I'm
no
doing
tries
it.
for
That's what I'm
Piakura this
doing.
year.
That's what they're there for, dude. That's what they're there for, dude. Because you know what? Everyone goes, hey, wait a second, that guy scored 4 times in a row. Let me throw him in a multi for $1.90. What are you doing? That's why. Yeah. Anyway, don't listen to me.
Oh, God. It's good. It's very good. Brent Reed's son, Brett Reed, Broncos 13+ into Willison for $9.86. Yeah, sure. That's a journo bet. Son of a journo bet. Even worse. Now, Tigers Knights. Tricky game, I think.
Tricky.
IMO. Tigers 2.15, Knights $1.70. Scully Park. Is that in
Tamworth?
Yep. Lions plus 2.5. The total points 43.5. Rando.
It's definitely a very interesting game. The Tigers, they've only won 4 of their last 29 day games. It will be wet in Tamworth as well. But the Tigers against the Knights have a better record. They've won 5 of their last 9 games as the underdog against them, and the Knights have only covered the line as favourite once in their last 9 games away from Newcastle. For try scorers, Justin Olam has the best record here. He scored 5 tries in his last 3 games against the Knights, scoring in all 3, and the Knights have conceded 4 tries to left edge attackers in their last 4 games.
Yep.
Roo?
I'm going to go, I like that left edge start. I'm going to go Bradman Best for the Newcastle Knights. And then Tyson Brazil has been named on the right side. I hope he does start there. I'm worried he'll come off the bench, but I love Tyson Brazil. I think he's at about $5 for any time try scorer. Gamble's put a few through there this year. So Frizzell into Bradman Best, $11.88. Terrifies me off the back of Rando stats that you've got Kai Pearce-Paul in there, because if he crosses and I'm not on, there'll be a fucking table flip next week.
I am on Kai Pearce-Paul because he must score eventually. He must score eventually. Why not in Tamworth? Maybe he needs to get out bush in order to score a rugby league try. Greg Marju goes in. Why? Because he's humongous. He's fucking enormous. And I like the way he plays his rugby league football. $8.99. Kai Pearce-Paul must score eventually, and this is the week.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to argue here. It's good if they haven't scored in a while, because if they have scored heaps, it's like if you're trying to chase down one of those big jackpot wins on a pokies, you want to play the one that has the bigger jackpot because it's hasn't paid out recently. Anyway, I like Frizzell as well. I don't know exactly where he's playing, but for some reason, I just really like him against the Tigers. Or any sort of team that isn't like a hugely defensive known team, because he's still a beast. And then Galvin. I think Tamworth's the perfect location for the Tigers to get a little glimmer of hope again. I feel every 5 weeks they get a glimmer of hope, and then it's like, oh no, we're shit again. And then Galvin will do something, and then that's kind of the loop they're trapped in this kind of reality, or what's it called again? Simulation, right? Just little trickles of hope every 4 or 5 weeks, and they haven't had one, because on the paper today it's like, sorry Benji, same old stuff or whatever. But 4 weeks ago they were going on 360. You're like, you know what? He played a game of golf before the round. I just love that, how relaxed he is approaching this. And then now all of a sudden he's under the blowtorch again. You know what I mean? And so now they're going to come out again, and Galvin's going to be their little saviour. So for those two, we are looking at 25.84?
Yep.
Fuck, that's actually pretty good. Forgot how good it was.
There you go. That wasn't the only thing in the paper today either, was it? Anyway. The Lippy. Brent Reed's son, Naden, Kai Pierce-Paul, $10.01. He gets it. He gets it. He gets it in this particular bet. Now, we move on. What are we? Here's 5:30 Saturday Arvo, the glamour spot. Dragons, Rabbitohs, Netstrata, Jubilee Stadium, $1.52 the Dragons, $2.55 the Rabbits. The Lions 5.5. The total points is 47.5. Rando, can the Rabbits win?
I like them in this one. I think I'm picking the upset here. This one is all Trell-based for stats-wise. Latrell, he's won his last 3 games back from injury or suspension. He has won his last 6 games against the Dargans and scored in 6 of his last 7 games against them as well. There's another try scorer to look out for, Cody Walker, playing game 200. He scored in his last 2 milestone games and scored in 3 of the 4 games against the Dragons that Latrell has played in.
I'm loving Trell.
I'm just going to put my cards on the table, punters and dribblers, so you know what I'm doing. I just think that you would look at this game and go, well, the Dragons surely win. But that's not how rugby league works, is it? The Rabbitohs were humiliated last week against the Panthers and didn't have a crack at all. I'm just going to go Rabbitohs 13 plus because we are in a simulation and there are trends, and I'm just trying to nail one down. Like, my vibe now, based on what I've seen so far this season, is that in some cases, do the absolute opposite of what you think is going to happen. Now, if the Dragons, a DMC, are the favourite, my intuition says to me they'll get pumped at home at 5:30 in the rain. And that's what I'm doing. Rabbitohs 13 plus $6.40.
Don't know if you've seen, boys, but KO have jumped on. They've got Dargans versus Rabbitohs.
They do.
Great chat. Great chat.
Oh, that I thought someone was photoshopping there.
No, that's for
legit.
real. That's great.
That's so funny.
Shout out
Well
to
done, KO.
Well done.
Well done, KO.
The Dargans.
Unreal.
It's so good. I fucking love it. What are you doing, Roo?
Boys, I think the Dargans win here, and I think they win well. I'm going to take Lomax for 2+ into Tyrell Sloan, $9.52. The amount of bets I've lost this year that involved these two is not even fucking funny. I reckon it's 80% of my lost bets to the Dragons, but I'm going to back him in again. Lomax back on the wing. I think he goes big this week. $9.52.
Sebastian?
Yeah, I'm big on Trell. I feel he's like, he likes his rodeos and stuff. I feel he's like a bull who's been like in that little cage before they go out and someone tries to stay on top of him. Like, he's been out for weeks. As Rando said, he likes to come back and put a score on. Now, maybe you just have to, like, the right side of the Bunnies, it's like, fuck it, let's just show our cards and go, we're cutting it off. It's a pawn. We're done. We're going to hammer the left because we still have throbbers on the left. We've got Jackie Boy. We've got Cody. We've got Trell. I don't know who else is playing anywhere at this point in time. Those 3 is all you need. I think Trell can get over twice because he's fired up. I think some of his videos on social media, he's got like inspirational fucking like speeches behind them with cool music, black and white, slow motion shit. He's not posting that stuff unless he's fired up. And a fired up Trell, yeah, might not fucking crash the Penrith defense or something like that. But the Dargans, who had Roosters put 60 on him on Anzac Day, the day they're meant to be the most fired up for, I'll take Trell 2+. Throw a little double-ender in with Lomax because we do know the Dragons or the Dargans are going to score at some point. 17-38. I think Trell comes out and has a big one. He's got a point to prove. He's a caged bull at the moment, about to be released.
There you have it. Good luck to the Dargans. The Lippy, Duncan into Sewer, $33.38 rugby league cents. We get to Saturday night, I believe. Storm at home to the Sharks, Amy Park. $1.80 plays 2.02. The line's -1.5. Total points 41.5. Rando.
This one will be dry, one of the only dry games this weekend. An interesting stat here pulled up by Andrew from the Rugby League Project. First and second, which is this game, have played 237 times. First has won 112 times. Second has won 113 times with 12 draws. Doesn't get any tighter than that. Unfortunately for the Sharks, it's the complete opposite side when it comes to them playing the Storm. The Storm have beaten them by 13 plus at home in their last 5 meetings there. The Sharks are in the top 8 in 4 of those 5 games, in the top 4 in 3 of those 5 games too. For try scorers, the Sharks, they've shunned Ronnie Mulatalo in both games without Trindle so far this year, but surely they take on the Storm's weak right edge, who have conceded 44% of their points. Ronnie has also scored in his last 3 games against the Storm.
What do you think, Roo?
I think this one has potential to be game of the season, to be honest with you. I reckon if both teams play their best here, we're going to be in for an absolute cracker. I like Ryan Pappenhausen's out, so my boy Sua Farlongo comes in at fullback. I think he's played like 50 minutes of first grade or something. He scored 3 tries, so I'm happy to take him as an ATS. And I'm just going to go the Storm 1-12. I think this one will be really close. I think that Craig Fitzgibbon and his Sharkies would have had this one circled for quite some time as their opportunity to prove themselves, because they've been great the last few years, but they just haven't been able to beat or compete with top sides. This is their opportunity to show they've turned a corner. So I think they get close. I just think at home, Melbourne will be too good. So Storm 1-12, Farlongo, anytime try scorer, $6.34.
It's a good bet.
Yep, I completely agree with you. I think they get close but no cigar. I think Storm at home against a top side, they'll want to make a statement, and they just don't seem to lose these ones. They just never seem to lose them. Storm 1-12 in a Munster, $8.79. Sebo?
I think I'm going to have to copy-paste Ruse. I just actually like that bet. I originally had a $50 plus a thing, Munster, Nicker and Hazelton.
Jeez, this is bold from you, mate.
Yep.
$6.
Yep, $6.
Shit, dude, you could be in the 70s, bro.
I like the bet. I had Hazelton. I know he scored like twice in a row. What's the odds of it happening 3 times? I just wanted to have a go at him. But I like the 1-12. I like the Sharks. They suck against top opponents. They suck at finals, but maybe they have turned a corner. I'm gonna back it in. What, 6.34? It's all right. That's a big 6.34 in my position.
That's huge from Sebo, but he's just trying to make things happen.
I know, but I just need to get a couple of these things, and I'm back in the game, and I can start doing some more sensible bets.
Proud of you, buddy. Lippy, who is, by the way, Brett Reed. That's Brent Reed's son. Storm Grant. Storm to win, Harry Grant to score, and 1 try combined, either Munster or Farlongo. So either, $8.74. Sunday, 2 p.m, Roosters Warriors, Allianz Stadium, $1.24 the Roosters. They're flying at the moment off the back of Angus Crichton, in my opinion. $4.10 the Warriors, line minus 11.5, total points 43.5, Rando.
Rue was smelling an upset here for the Warriors, and he might be onto something, because the Roosters haven't won back-to-back games against the Wires at Allianz since 1998. So a long time between drinks there for them. For try scorers, I do like Sammy Walker here. He scored in 2 of the 3 games he's played against the Warriors. The only game they didn't score in was his debut match against them. And the Warriors are conceding 25% of their tries in his attacking channel.
Interesting. Very interesting. What do you reckon, Sebo?
I'm going to go 3 try scorers. Look, Angus Crichton, what's the odds of him doing it 3 weeks in a row? Probably not great, but he is just playing great. And
mate, and you're getting a price.
Yeah, you're getting a price from, and he just runs those lines. Like him and Nickera, it's like when you take
$3.35
an edge back rower,
Take
it's just
that.
about those angles of those lines, and you just kind of want to be on it. Got him on my Supercoach team, so it's been good, sure, but everyone's got him in Supercoach team. But I'm just going to back him. I think I backed him on Anzac Day, but Lomax can get done. Chansey. I think someone like Chansey steps up for the Warriors. I think you're getting a good price for him still, like 3s or 4s or something like that. I think they can get a few tries against the Roosters. He's just been in some good form, and he just digs in no matter how the game's going. And then Cheese. Cheese is starting to get a little bit of his kind of like from 10, 15 metres out kind of crash ball. Yeah, again, like for Melbourne, he used to do it all the time. He's done it a few times this year. So I just thought I'd go, 3 guys that are kind of $3.50 to $5. So I get 75.53. I get 75.53 for 3 try scorers. Other idiots out there are like, I'll put Mulatalo, DWZ, and Dommy Young for 486.
Put Mulatalo in, you reckon? That wouldn't get up.
No, but I like it for $75. I really do.
You really like it?
I really do. Well, what's not to like? There's Angus Crichton.
Yep.
That's all in agreement.
Yep.
Chansey, how many times did he score for the Warriors? Like, his strike rate's probably not great. It's like at least 50%.
Shit house.
This year, he's only scored 1.
Only scored 1. That was the other week, was it?
Yeah, he's only scored 1 against the Roosters in 9 games.
He's walked all over the Knights. You know what I mean? He like walked from the line. He didn't crash ball. But again, this is how you win $70 bets. This is how you do it. And this is what I need to do. Sue me, but it's a good bet.
Okay. Guru.
Boys, I've just got a feeling the Warriors are a real good sniff for an upset here. I looked at them. I think they're at about $4.50, which I liked, but
Triple it.
Well, if you let me finish my sentence, 11.5 was the start there, and I just thought, I'm just going to take that because, as you guys know, I am wrong about 98% of the time so far this year. So I'm going to take the Wars plus 11.5, and if they're going to win, their big boys are going to have to stand up. So I'm going to take AFB to score, and RTS back at Allianz against his former club, his team in a little bit of trouble. I think he'll stand and deliver. So $24.95 there.
That's not bad for considering AFB scores. RTS hasn't scored a lot, but he basically scored the other day when Oldie Wade knocked it on, but not bad for 20s.
Not bad. I think that the Wars are all at sea. I think 3 losses like that against absolutely dog shit competition is not a good sign. They've showed absolutely fuck all, and the Roosters got their tail up. I like Dommy Young and I like Angus Crichton, 561. I think the Roosters win and win well. That's my opinion. Lippy, Walker, and Bunty Afoa for $51.33. That's Dylan Walker, I assume, who did score last week.
I think it's Sam Walker.
Sam
actually,
Walker.
yeah.
Sam Walker and Bunty Afoa, 51.33.
Dylan Walker, breadcrumb.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
He scored last week.
And he did score last week. Dylan Walker, also a manly man at heart. Great player. Okay. I was just going back looking at what I think the Lippy's doing this week. If I could just have a guess about what the Lippy's doing, I think that he's putting on huge bets in the hope that no one hits and he just like gets it by default. Unfortunately for you, bruh, Sebo of Almost Out of Money fame is putting on far larger bets. So. Stiff shit. Joke's on you. Final game of the year.
Final game of the year.
Jesus Christ. Final game of the round. Titans, Cowboys. Seabus Super Stadium. Titans $2.15. Cowboys $1.70. Surely the Titans are special here. Line 2.5 points. And the total points a neat 50. So, points expected. Rando?
Very, very, very scared of this game as a Cowboys fan. The Titans, they've won 4 of their 5 Sunday games against the Cowboys at home. But the stat I'm more interested in here is the overs. The overs has hit in 8 of the 9 games the Cowboys have played this year. So give me that 50-point start for the overs. For try scorers, you got to tip the fullback against the Gold Coast Titans. They have now scored in 7 of their 8 games. So Scotty Drinkwater here is your man.
I mean, I looked at the overs as well, but it's 50 points. Like, yeah. I get the overs have hit before, but they would have been
24
like
and 26, you know?
Yeah.
It's
so what, at least 4, 8?
Well, like the Cowboys don't defend.
They're conceding 28 points per game, the Cowboys, and they're scoring over 20 each per game.
No, it is a shootout. It is going to be a shootout, unless for some crazy reason. The game that you think's going to be
Mate, watch it. Well, I'd be all over unders if I had the fucking Stones.
Like, you know what I mean?
If I had the Stones, I'd be all over unders. I'd be fucking ploughing it.
All 5 of those Sunday home games for the Titans against the Cowboys have gone under 50 points, so...
Yeah, look, I mean,
if I'm up 10 units or something on the season, I'm tripling the unders.
Because the bookies know that everyone's going to think overs. That's why they set it at 50.
And 50 is such an attractive number. They're like, ooh, come fuck me.
Because it's like,
I'm 50.
Yeah, 50 is a lot of points. Like, even in the like the 2021 days, it was like you
Well,
know,
their lines are like 50,
Yeah.
50, 55.
yeah, exactly. But I still do see it as a shootout. But I'm just going to pick. This is where I will pick the kind of main try scorers because I'm taking 4 of them. Where are we here? So we got Fafita, AJ, Val, and Drink. So 2 on each side because that is enough to get me to 38.90. You know what happens if I put the overs in? It takes me to like 42. And it's like, I'm not risking picking 4 try scorers.
Go the unders.
And they're the only the unders will take me to 300 or something. But no, I'm not. If I'm going to pick 4 try scorers, there's no way in hell I'm going to risk an over and unders if you can get them to bang. You know what I mean? Like, what is the point? So I'm just taking the favourites there, but it gets me, 38.90. Hopefully it is a shootout because shootout's just a fun watch as well. So this is to round it out.
Roo?
Boys, I'm going to take Scotty Drinkwater. Obviously, love Rando stats. And, boys, I'm going to take a Fafita double. If you have a look at their team list they've named this week, Chris Randall at 5'8", which is fucking real out-of-the-box sort of stuff. So I think Kieran Foran will run the entire show, which means that left side will get a heap of ball. You might have noticed Fafita, he refuses to be tackled. The Cowboys refuse to tackle. It's a perfect fucking storm. I think Fafita absolutely explodes this week. I'm going to take him for a double. Drinky ATS, $24.77.
I do like your logic there. I think Titans win. I'm going to take the 215 there. I'm going to take AJ Brimson because he's at fullback now and he's just a different fucking kettle of fish back there. And Nanai because he just scores all the time and he just boosted my odds. $12.71.
Game 50 for Nanai as well. So
there you go.
Milestone match.
Which I don't like, but that's okay. I'm not making it about the milestone. I'm not making it about the
30
milestone.
tries in 49
If I was making it about the
games.
milestone, then it wouldn't get up. But I'm not making it about the milestone at all. Didn't know that. Don't care. 50 games as well. Pff, give a shit. Lippy. Neem McIntyre Cows to win 67-61. I told you there's a theme. He's got $67, $51, $8. Almost feel like bringing in a new rule. If you don't get a bet, you can't be on the trophy because it's weak and it's pathetic and you know it. Be better, Brent Reed's son. Brett Reed. That's it. That's all the fucking games. We now go and we attempt to scoop units. I will start with Sebo again because this is basically the only bet that he gives a shit about.
Yep. Yeah.
What do you reckon, brah?
So last week, I think I went for every leg failed anyway, but it was like $80 or so.
I think you got one leg.
I think I got one leg, yeah. So I think I've changed my tact with the unit scooper. Instead of trying to go for the 80 to 1, which will maybe slingshot me to first, it's like, no, we need to rebuild. Yeah. We need to rebuild first and just get some units to play with, get some more conviction, start taking some lines and a try scorer for the kind of last 2/3 of the season. So this time I'm going to go like a little English breakfast of favourites for just 36.39. All people that are just favourites. I'm just trying my hand at this. You know what I mean? I spent the whole fucking show shitting on favourites, hoping I can breadcrumb my way into a unit scooper.
Is that how it works?
Oh, maybe. Well, we're all going to try our own manifestations, right? You got to give your own attempt at it. You can't just say shit. You got to do something. So Turbo, Taruva, Drinky, DWZ, and Sevo, the 5 fucking shortest prices around pretty much, except Mulatalo. 36.39. Let's just get some units back in and then have a proper charge. That's me.
When I was celebrating my $1,000 win the other night on social media, I had a DM from someone that said, "Oh yeah, well you don't have as much personality as Seb," and I was like, "That's the least insulting thing anyone's ever fucking said to me."
Yeah, no one does. Who do you like, Roo?
Boys, as I said, love Fafita with Foran being the only ball player out there. Lomax via the Dragons back on the wing. I'll swallow up. Reece Walsh, $2.15. He scores every week except last. And as I said, I think the Warriors put on a good performance against the Roosters. RTS against his former club. He will cross $41.08. I like this one, boys.
Yeah, I'll say I like that as well.
Yeah, it's a nice looking bet. It just is. There's no point beating around the bush. Looks good. I've gone the Seagulls -2.5, the Dogs +15.5, the Broncos -9.5, and the Titans +2.5. I got 5 of 8 last week, so I've dialed it back, and I'm going for 4 of 8 lines here, and I just think to myself, maybe I've got to make a bit more of a fucking sacrifice to the punting gods, you know? a bit more on the line for them to approve a unit scooper for me. And I'm going to put a Stags in there. I'm going to put a Katoni in there. I don't think we ever see a Stags in a unit scooper, and I'm prepared to put it in just to juice things up. An extra sacrifice for the gods. Again, Sean Russell's in big trouble, in my opinion. 27.47, if that gets up. And then I'm starting to touch myself again. The Lippy, Turbo, Cleary, Grant, and Sam Walker, $84.34. We will now go and get the ball machine, and we will spin that bitch to see the new order for the second of 3 hot seats. Another 1,000 on the line, punters and dribblers. Another 1,000 on the line.
So lowest number gets the pick.
Well,
or highest number.
Well, we did lowest last time. We could do highest this time if you want to keep things interesting. Seb.
Yeah.
Spice
Let's
it up.
go for it.
Do you want to spice it up,
Let's
mate?
spice it up.
All right.
Oh, that's
Is that a good or a bad one? Oh,
you gotta love
Okay.
this ball machine.
Roo.
Thank you.
424. 424. I don't know how high we go. That seems pretty high. $420.
Wow. Okay.
$420. $491.
Oh,
$491. Okay, and obviously Burma got 1, so he came last. So what'd you get?
424.
I'm third. Yeah.
So I'm going to go last. I'm going to go in the guru seat like you did, man. I'm going to go 4th.
I am going to take it on head on. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
I'm going to go second. I feel I had a good crack going second last time. I'm going to do it again.
Sweet. Yep. There we go. Ruse up.
All right, your defending champ back in the hot seat, looking to go back to back and pretty much lock myself up a baggy green. I obviously had the choice of where I wanted to go for this hot seat, and I decided to go first, decided to take it on head on. I've had a few accusations of me being the Bradbury of the betting world, so I'm going to take it on head on, go first, see what I can come up with, and I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't devastated when I realised that Morgan Smithies was on the bye this week. That was my first thought. Rando just sent my world crashing in around me when he pointed that out. So I'm going to go for a try scorer this week still. I'm going to take David Fafita to cross. I see a lot of blokes going $1.90 bets here. $2.60 for David Fafita. I just think against this North Queensland Cowboys side, they just refuse to tackle Fafita. He refuses to be tackled. I think it's an absolute perfect storm. Kieran Foran, the only ball player out there for the Gold Coast Titans. Fafita's going to get an absolute stack of ball. I think he crosses for at least 1. I think he gets 2, to be honest with you. So Fafita, $2.60, huge value against the North Queensland Cowboys this week.
All right, there you have it. Hot seat off and away for the second instalment of the season. That's us. We're out of here. Tommy's back next week. It's been nice without him. It's been very, very pleasant indeed. So he'll be back next week. Thanks to Neds, our dear friends, for getting us through, for supporting us, for putting on or helping support the greatest gambling show ever conceived by man. I think we can all agree that that's the case, and the numbers reflect it. It's as simple as that. Good luck to all in your punting endeavours. Thank you, Rando, for coming in and looking so fuckable today.
Thank you.
It's been nice to look at. We'll see you next week.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website